Everywhere she go, they playing my songs. That's why I say the things.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I filmed this really pretty pink cut crease eye look. It was inspired by this picture that I found on Pinterest. I think that's crispy here on YouTube. But I wanted to create this look on my channel because I know that cut creases are a very sought after look. They're super popular in the makeup community and they've been popular for quite a few years now. And I remember when I first started learning makeup and learning how to do cut creases, they were rather difficult. So I wanted to give my best tips on how to create a cut crease look. And I also sat down and talked to you guys about how to realistically get over a man or woman, whatever your preferences are, but how to realistically get over a breakup. So if you want to see this look, see how to get this look, or if you want some real life advice on how to get over a breakup, please keep watching and subscribe if you want to see more. Okay, you guys, so let's get started. I have already filled in my brows and prepped the lids, and I have my foundation on. So the foundation that I'm wearing today, I actually mixed two. So I'm wearing the Dior Forever Matte and the Kylie Cosmetics. And the Dior is in the color 6W and the Kylie Cosmetics is 8WN. So I am wearing those two as my base today. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the Makeup by Mario palette, and I'm gonna take this shade right here and just place that all over my lid there. And today we are going to talk about, actually, is that the shade that I want to use? I might actually go a little bit lighter and use that shade. I'm sorry. So that top shade, fourth to the right if you're looking at it. It's a good base shade. So if you guys don't know, I am like a certified lover girl. I'm a Libra. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I do believe in astrology, but I don't have quite a clue as to my Venus or anything like that. But I do know that I am a hopeless romantic, and Libras are known to be hopeless romantics. So with that being said, I do get my hopes up a lot, and that means that I've had to kind of pick myself up a lot, especially when going through a breakup, because I do love really hard. And when I do love really hard, sometimes that does include a little bit of heartbreak. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the second row, that brown. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, it's really small, but like buffing. And I'm just gonna concentrate that color right in the crease and not go above and blend it out or below. Just really just focus that color right in there. So yeah, I have been through quite a few heartbreaks, and with that, sometimes it can be very hard to get over. So I have a few tips today on how you can really get over a breakup realistically, because there's all this mumbo jumbo about, oh, just forget him, girl, move on, you're better than him, and all this stuff. We know that, obviously, we know that, you know, but we want real advice on how to move past. And then I'm taking the other side and just, I'm not blending it up or down, is like not at all. I do not want to blend all the way up in the crease. I just want to keep it right in that crease area there, that color. And I'm not taking any more product. I'm just simply blending out where I placed that brown shade. So yes, I have some good realistic tips on how to get over a guy and get over a breakup realistically. So my number one thing is definitely going to be, first, make sure that it's really over. And by that, I mean, have the conversation, don't have the conversation, whatever you decide to do about getting your closure, just do that, and do that as quickly as possible. And you don't even necessarily have to have a conversation in order to get that closure, if you understand what I'm saying. But you do need to have that mental decision prepared in your head that it is going to be over, whether you have that conversation or not, and whether you get an actual closure through the conversation. And then next, what I want to do is I'm going to take the color that was next to it, that shade right here, and put that also in the crease, but blend that up as well. So I do want that to be my transition shade. So I'm just going to add that, but this one can be really blended. So I'm just taking that. Then I'm taking a buffing brush, a blending brush, and blending that out. So yes, so that is my first tip, is to have the conversation, don't have the conversation, but mentally be prepared for it to be over. Be prepared that that it's over. It's over. Because that is the easiest way in order to move on, is to make sure that there's no residual. My next step is to block them on social media. Get them out of your head. If you have them on your social media, I'm going to go back in with the same buffing brush and add a little bit of product and then blend it up into the brow bone, like a little bit higher up on the brow bone. So block them. There's no need to see what they're doing. There's just no need for any of that. So I just say to block them, truly. Because why do you need to see what's going on with them? Why do you need to see what they're doing? You don't. It's only going to make your heart hurt more, and it's just not worth it. It's like not worth it at all. So now we have a really good blend here. And now we're gonna cut our crease. I'm gonna take the MAC Studio Fix Everywhere All Over face pen. And this is the color NW20. This is the lightest concealer I have. If you do not have a base, like the P. Louise base or something like that, a light color concealer will also do that trick. And I just put it on the back of my hand there. You can see how light that is. So we want it to be as light as possible, because whatever color we decide to put on there, we want it to be as neutral as possible. And I personally don't like to cut my crease with, like a lot of people like to do it with like an edge angled brush like this. I'm actually gonna take this very thin liner brush, and that's how I cut my crease, because that's how I feel like I can get the most symmetric look. Just make sure I get product as well coated around the whole thing as possible. And what I do is I like to start from the inner corner and go. Some people like to start like here and then create the crease, but I like to literally follow that inner corner and follow exactly where my crease is. And I'm going to actually follow where that shadow is. So, and then I just blend the concealer onto the lid. Like so. So yeah, so block them, because there's no point of you having to see the person and it won't take your mind off of things. It'll only make you wonder, are they with another person? What are they doing? Everything like that. So just block them. Or mute them if you don't want them to know that they're blocked. You can also just mute, which is one of my favorite things to do, because I think blocking looks petty to some people. And yeah, I mean, not that you should care what they think because you're going through a breakup, but still. And then I like to go back in and just make sure that my line is as neat as possible. My third tip is to take your mind off of things for a while. What I like to do is I like to read a book or start a new series or anything of that nature, because it allows me to escape reality. I pretend like I'm that character. I pretend like I like to watch like a lot of reality shows that show, you know, people living a luxurious life, and that just really takes my mind off of things. That makes me think of something better than what I'm dealing with at the time. Okay, so now that it's even on both sides, I'm gonna let the where I applied the concealer dry just a little bit. So yes, I would definitely take my mind off of things, read a little book, read something that you enjoy. I love murder mysteries and things like that, and that helps me take my mind off of things also. But when I'm feeling down and feeling really sad and upset, I do like to watch those reality shows where they live a luxurious life, and I can really, or like Gossip Girl, or you know, like a cute teen kind of show. Those are always really good things that just help me to escape my reality. So now I'm going to take, I'm thinking if I want to really deepen this and make it like smoky, which I probably don't want to do that. So what I will do is I'll actually go in with that brown color right here, and they're all brown. I'm like, that brown color? Okay, so I'm going to take that warm shade again that I used in the crease there, and I am just going to pop that on the outer corner and blend that together with where the lid meets, and just really concentrate that on the outer corner and up towards the end of the brow too. So my next piece of advice for getting over a breakup would definitely be to take your time. Take your time with everything. Take your time with talking to people again, talking about the situation. Take your time with leaving your house. If you don't have to leave your house and you don't feel like it and you don't want to, I mean, granted, it will help you to feel better if you do leave your house and do, you know, make that decision to leave, but you know, take your time with that. If you're not feeling up to it, there is literally no need to rush into doing something that you're not ready for, especially something like getting back into, you know, your regular routine, especially if that person was a part of your regular routine. Sometimes it can be hard to figure out where to go from there. Next, I'm going to take the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette because I want to make this a really pinky look, even though it is starting out neutral. And you can neutralize this look if you want. Like if you want to just make it a very simple neutral cut crease look, you could just pop on like one of those light shades in this palette, like this first one here, this third one here. You can use one of those shades and make it really more neutralized. But I saw this picture on Pinterest and I thought the pink was really pretty, so that's kind of what I'm recreating right now. So I am using the Rose Quartz palette, and I'm going to use the pink color right here called Cherished. And I'm just taking that with a, this is very old brush, as you can see, it's e.l.f. But I'm taking that with a flat, this is actually their concealer brush, but I use these type of brushes for shadow. I don't use these to blend out any type of concealer. And I'm just popping the color right on top of that base. Yes, take your time. Take your time getting back into the swing of things, and you know, do your best. That's all that you can do, is your best. So do that. You know, there's literally no guideline. This is just some simple advice, but there is no guideline on how to go about getting over someone. There is no real guideline. So just do what you can, do your best. It takes time. Taking your time really helps though, but it takes time. It does take time. So take your time into deciding how you want to move forward, you know? And focus on just one thing. You know, you can focus on, you know, putting your 100% into something else. You know, if you felt like you were putting 100% into your relationship and you were putting your all into that, put your all back into your career, put your all back into your hobbies, and, you know, use that energy for something else. My next tip actually kind of ties into this, because, you know, if you are focused on your career before this relationship, or if you were focused on a hobby before your relationship, go back to focusing on that, because it will help you remember who you are. I think that's like another great tip, is just remembering who you were before you were this person, before you were with this person. And I know, like, in relationships, it's not supposed to be this way, but you naturally are going to adapt and kind of change to who you, to a different person with them. That's just natural, because, you know, you can be one person, but then, you know, another person comes into your life and can, you know, affect who you are as a person. And not negatively, I'm not saying that in a negative way, but it can really, you know, kind of affect who you are and who you once were. So you can always go back to that though. That is the best part, is that you can always go back and be who you once were. Remind yourself of all the wonderful things you had going on before and how you can get back to that. You know, there is nothing wrong with going back to your goals and remembering who you once were before this person. Obviously, you're not going to be the same after being with this person, because that's just how it is. What happened right there? Did I miss something? Did I do something right there? I don't even know. So that is a simple cut crease, you guys. I am now going to, and I'm just blending everything in, blending it together, making sure that it looks seamless and blended throughout. And I really like for it to look faded into that eye. And now we're going to do our liquid eyeliner. My favorite liquid liner of all time is the e.l.f. This is the Expert Liquid Eyeliner. I am just going to do my normal liquid liner as normal. Okay, and I'm going to just finish up the makeup now. So I am using the Kylie Cosmetics. This is the 4W in her concealer. I'm just gonna pop that right under the eyes and down the nose like I normally do. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of bronzer. This is the Matte Rich Rosy Skin Finish. For my last tip, it would definitely be to reestablish who you are. It really is going to take some time. But you should definitely reestablish who you once were, because that will help you to see the light on the other side of the tunnel. So just remember who you were and think about your future and how you want to move forward. And you know, if you feel like the mistakes that were made in the relationship were your fault, think about who you want to be in your next relationship. Think about that. That's like, you know, you need to think about the future. You can't dwell in the past anymore. Or, you know, if there is a chance that you guys will work things out, what will you do better next time? If you feel as though things in the relationship were not on your end, if you feel that you were the one who put in all the effort and did everything, you know, accurately, and you did your best and you did everything that you could in the relationship, then just think about who you want to be with next. Who, you know, what you would go for next time in a relationship, what you will put up with and what you won't put up with the next time. That is going to really help you understand who you are, where you see your, you know, what you see your relationships looking like in the future. And it'll give you a chance to just really settle into, you know, understanding how you want your relationships to move forward. And that is something we should all do and like self-reflect in our relationships, to be honest, because there are a lot of times where we will get out of a relationship, we won't reflect on what happened, and we go into that relationship making the same mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, we go into that relationship and we treat that person the same way, even though they're a completely different person, or we have expectations on that person because of what we went through in our past. And it's just not fair. It's not fair to... Now I'm going to powder my face. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty, the Peach Pie Easy Bake Loose Powder for the under eyes. And then I'm going to use the translucent Kylie. The translucent Kylie powder for the rest of my face. And honestly, I'm going to take an eyeshadow blending brush because I did clean my brushes today. And the two powder brushes that I like to use for the under eye are still drying. So it's gonna have to be this eyeshadow brush, which actually isn't bad because it really gets under the eye there. I used to use an eyeshadow brush to blend out my concealer sometimes, so yeah, I like it as a powder brush under the eye too. And that's the thing about makeup, you guys, is that you have to be like, I have favorite products, right? Or favorite brushes, I should say. I have favorite brushes that I use every single day. Don't judge me. There are some brushes that I don't always clean every single day or after every use, because I want to use them the next day and the next day, the next day, because I'm just so stuck on my set routine. But there are other times where you do have to adapt to the products that you have in front of you, especially as a makeup artist, because sometimes there will not always be the exact tools that you need. Or you might like I've gone on jobs where I've forgotten things at home and I've had to just make do with what I had. So yeah, that's a really good lesson as an artist, is to just make do with what you do have, because you're not always gonna, okay, say you're on a 12-person job, right? I was on a 7-person job one time. So do you think you're gonna have time to clean a bunch of brushes and clean your favorite ones that you love to use for every single makeover? No, you're not, because you gotta get in and out. You gotta get the people in and out of your chair because they need to get their hair done, or they need to help somebody else with their hair, or, you know, depending on what the event is. So you got to be willing to kind of use what you have at your disposal. A little makeup talk. to cut in between. All of this to say is that breakups are hard. Relationships are hard. All of that is hard. But when you know how to navigate it and be a little bit smarter, and I'm like the type who I do tend to put all my eggs in one little basket, especially when it comes in relationships, because I am the more committed type. But when you realize that, sorry, I'm just gonna brush this away and then I'm gonna start adding blush and highlighting everything, but I'm just going to brush this powder under the eye away, and then I'm gonna use the Patrick Ta. So I'm gonna use the pink, the cream blush, and then I'm gonna add the MAC Peach Twist right on top. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I didn't grab Peach Twist. I grabbed Hard to Get, which is a really pretty extra dimension blush from MAC, because you guys know I'm really into glowy blushes these days. But yes, when you know how to navigate your relationship, it'll work out so much better. And if you know how to navigate, you know, if things don't work out, and that's the thing about dating, it's, you have to be prepared for what if things don't work out. You can't expect that the relationship that you're in is going to be the one forever. You know, you can expect it, but just understand that with those expectations, there can be a little bit of disappointment with it. All of that to say, date around. Figure out what you like, figure out what you don't like, and never settle, you know? Like, it may suck to break up with someone, but it's better to break up with them than to settle for putting up with something that you're not happy with. And even if the breakup was on you, because sometimes that does happen, to where we're not perfect human beings, and there will be things that some people like and don't like about us. Okay, you guys, so I finished off the look. I added lashes. I put on my lip combo. So the chestnut liner, of course, never gonna change. This is the Teddy 2.0 lipstick. As you can see, the chestnut liner is all on it. And then I use the Lancome Juicy Tube in the color Dreamsicle. It smells amazing. Like, I love good smelling glosses. Make sure there's no gloss on my teeth. But that is the look, you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you got some good advice. I hope that if you're going through a breakup, whether it was your fault or not, I really hope not your fault, because it takes two in every relationship. So nothing is ever just one person's fault. But if the ultimate breakdown of the relationship was due to some work that you have to do on yourself, please do the work. For you and for every relationship in your life, whether it be your mother, your relationship with your parents, the relationship with your siblings, other family members, friends, you know, the basis of a good romantic relationship is good outside, like other relationships, familial and friendships and things like that. So I hope that this resonated with some of you. I hope that you are able to understand who you are. You are not, you know, you are not just you and that person. You are someone outside of that person. So find that person, find who you are, and be great. And remember that with or without this person, you will be okay. You will live and you will continue to learn. So it hurts now, but trust me. Okay, a little story time, just a little one. When I was in the 12th grade, I had been dating a guy for 4 years, since 8th grade. And we split up right before my senior prom. Yes, right before my senior prom, he broke up with me because he felt as though I was not supportive of his after high school, what he wanted to do. And that broke me. And I did not think that I was going to get through that at all. And I was 17 at the time, you know? So, and now I'm 28 and I'm in such a great relationship and I'm so happy. And, you know, just know that it does get better. You will find who you are meant to be with. And yeah, everything will be great. You are young. No matter what age you're at, you are young and life is not over. Life is not over until you take that last breath. So go out there and, you know, meet your soulmate or meet someone who, you know, even if you don't believe in soulmates, meet someone who just lets you have fun and, you know, makes your world just a little bit better and, you know, makes your life a little less lonely or just completes you in some kind of way. So yeah, I hope that resonated with you all. So I hope that you got something out of this. And I am thinking and praying for you if you are going through a difficult time, and you will get out of it. Please do not even worry about that. But yeah, this is the look, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, y'all.